So hey all, just something quick to start with. A couple of days ago, or a couple of days before this was recorded, one of the videos that I had posted had for some reason been recommended by YouTube for a couple of people, and although I'm sure some of the responses were probably from people that it was intended for, it seemed like a good number of the responses was from people who just wouldn't have been my target audience anyway, and that's fine. It's like, but a lot of most of the comments were either criticizing what I was doing, wondering why YouTube recommended it, or just otherwise something that I don't think was very respectful of the person making the content. And I'm not saying that you have to like what I do or that you have to even be, in my target audience or anything like that, but don't take it up with me. Don't leave it in my comments because it's really not useful. And if you're not going to derive some sort of benefit from my content, from what I'm trying to, the knowledge that I'm trying to impart or the perspective I'm trying to present to you, then why are you watching the video in the first place? It's just I don't understand it. Because there's plenty of, this YouTube is a site based on user-generated content. So of course there's going to be stuff that doesn't appeal to everybody. There's plenty of videos that I just see in my recommendations or in my daily perusing of YouTube that I just go right past. And I don't leave comments, criticizing what they're doing or insulting. It's like I don't do any of that unless somebody asks me for critical advice. And I mean, I know that some people are just going to leave comments, and that's fine. It's just it's I guess it doesn't really bother me that much in that it's part of the game, I guess. But it also seems to me like you could just as easily have just gone on with your day and just never clicked on the video. You didn't have to go looking at it, and you didn't really have to go criticizing it either. So that's just my 2 cents. I think that a lot of people on this website produce a lot of really good content, and there's people that produce stuff that's not so good, and there's stuff that produce things that doesn't interest you personally, or at least for your tastes, isn't on par with what you're expecting. But it's to a certain degree, it's user responsibility. It's like you're the one that decided to look at it rather than keep on going and click on something else. And if you decided to click on it, you at least deserve to give it a fair shake and or click on it only if it's actually something that you think is relevant to you. So, that's it. That's all I have to say. Um, in writing news, I'm still working on the short story that is a prequel to the prequel. Hopefully I can finish it with the next few days. I was going to try and finish it this week, but I don't know if that's going to happen because it was just a long week. A lot of things going on. A lot of things requiring my attention, and just a lot of things to take care of. So odds are probably pretty good that the story that I'm working on right now, which is currently titled Limitless Possibilities, will hopefully be finished by early next week. And then when it does, I'd like to try and work on another big project or two, and at least try and get something set up in that direction. Um, in video news, it's going to be a lot of editing today. I have, of course, a vlog to do as I always do, and I have a couple of videos that I need to edit, so there will be a lot of putting stuff together. Hopefully I can finish at least one or two of those today and get them up and scheduled and all that other good stuff. Um, let's see. Books I'm reading. I'm still working on When the World Was Young. I just finished the third story out of the list. I'm still in, I think, the Stone Age. Yeah, because I think it goes stone, iron, and bronze, maybe. But so far it's been a pretty good collection. I may perhaps provide an overview of each respective subsection once I get to that point, but there'll be a lot of comments, a lot of pluses and minuses, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So far, I've liked two of the three stories. The second one, I didn't dislike it, but it just was, I guess, presented some things I wasn't entirely sure that if they worked with me. But it wasn't that the story wasn't well written. It was just, I don't know. It's just like when you hit a genre that isn't really your forte. It's like it's kind of, there's a lot of wiggle room, I guess. And um, I guess it went in a direction that I didn't really expect for the collection. But whether or not, as far as I understand it, there's at least a couple of other stories that kind of lean in the direction of magic. But we'll see. I don't want to criticize, the story that didn't sync with me as well, because it was a good story. I liked the way it started, but I don't know. I just can't really say that it was the best one for me, and that's really all I can say about that. Because but it's a good collection so far. Overall, I'm satisfied, and I've still got more of it to read than I do behind me. But I'm trying to read like one a week and just see how it goes. But overall, we'll see how the rest of the collection progresses as I make my way through it. I'm also still reading Patrick Stewart's memoirs. I think, like 8 chapters into it, and I've kind of been doing that a chapter a week as well. And just sort of reading a chapter and then just kind of putting it down and letting it sit and just letting it percolate for a while. And so far it's pretty good as well. I'll probably give my thoughts on it. I don't know if I'll do it like my standard book reviews, but I probably will at least take some time, or at least some opportunity to talk about it for those that might be interested in checking it out. The last one that I'm currently reading is The High Kingdom, which is a Strange New Worlds book, and so far I'm not sure if I'm loving it. I think I liked the Enterprise War better, but it was written during the Discovery arc, so a lot of the Strange New Worlds unique characters were not in it. But this story, it's kind of like with the story in When the World Was Young, in that it's not necessarily syncing with me. And again, not all Star Trek stories are going to sync with every fan. I get it. But as far as me personally, I'm not sure exactly if I'm on board with this book, and it's kind of weird because it's halfway. Now, I know I said that with the Discovery book I read not that long ago, but the Discovery book kind of picked it up for me in the second half, and it all kind of made sense and worked for me in hindsight. I'm hoping that this book does the same, that the second half kicks the book into high gear, but so far I'm 40% of the way through the book, and I'm still not entirely sure which direction it's heading. But again, this is very similar to how the Discovery book read to me the last time, so as always, I will wait and give my final opinion until I've read the whole book and see exactly how it all metered out. But that's about it for books I'm reading. I don't really have any additional topics today just because it's been very busy. I am handling a lot at once, and there's just a lot going on, and there's just a lot. But all I can say is I'm just going to keep at it, see what I can do, and probably when I get started on filming in a couple of weeks, I can begin the gargantuan project of doing my review of the Complete Red Vixen Adventures and get that ball rolling, because that's going to be a lot of recording, a lot of editing. It's probably going to take a while, but it'll be hopefully a good long video of interest to folks that enjoy furry fiction. So if that sort of thing interests you, then I will see you whenever it gets completed. But for everybody else, I'll catch you in 2 weeks.
If you like werewolves, check out my book Blue Moon, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!